They've changed that up. They went with the same matchup the first 3 sets.
So Jared Elliott.
And it pays off immediately with a different blocker going up against McElhenney.
Elliott being proactive, spinning the dial a little bit here. Let's see what Texas can come up with. One of their biggest matches of the season in their minds, they were telling us, was an Iowa State match earlier this year where they went down 0-2 and basically had that moment that all teams seem to have. Hey, what are we going to do here? Are we going to put the boxing gloves on, or are we just going to go home? And they came back to win it.
And Senator Allison was talking about that. They faced a decision. Do we fight, or do we just let them take it from us? And they decided to fight, and they feel that was a real turning point for their season.
That was back on October 17th. And Jared Elliott says they've just been a different team since then.
And the other change was going to a 1-setter offense. They were running a 2-setter offense that more teams are doing with more substitutions, but they've been going with Allison and getting lots of success since they switched in the middle of the Illinois match.
Well, and let's revisit what you talked about earlier, Coach, for Texas. Hey, things don't have to be perfect. We can take some lows as long as we bounce back for some highs. Finding a way to win, they talked about in this semifinal.
And they're fine winning ugly. They've been doing it more than they have with their other teams. And that's what they're going to need to do here, is scrap out a win. Irwin with a couple of misplaced shots now. She's got to hit for the court. But Coach Rosen loves her assertiveness, her aggressiveness.
First national final appearance on the line for Michigan. Texas. Mick Haley was the coach when they won their first and only national championship in 1988. In recent days, 3 straight trips to the semis, 1 time into the finals in the last 4 years for Texas. And it hasn't ended yet with a championship trophy.
And you mentioned that Texas win, first time a non-West region team won. That was what really started the process of this becoming a completely national game. Powers from the East in Penn State to the Midwest in Texas, and Michigan here, and Nebraska, and then out west up to the Northwest Washington. It wasn't always like that.
It has certainly been Penn State's championship in recent years. They've taken 4 of the last 5. They were not here last year. They come back this year. And they will be in our second semifinal against the Oregon Ducks. So just the second time in the 32-year history of this tournament, there is not a California team here. You talk about the growth of the sport going nationwide.
Just the talent gets more and more spread out. The recruiting is becoming more fierce, and everybody's going for the same top kids that just like Penn State, Texas, Nebraska, Stanford, and others are going for.
Ackerman, that high toss to her serve. The back set here for Cross, but Webster actually got there first. Looked like the ball went into the antenna. Texas coaches up off the bench. Point Michigan.
We'll see if the ball touched
or into the net is what Jared Elliott might be saying. The Michigan player was into the net.
Could be. I think Michigan's got to calm their setter down a little, Lexi Downing-Miller, who's been doing a fabulous job in that match. But you can see lots of inconsistent locations here early. And it looked like Cross touched the net with the lower part of her body.
So that's a swing point right there. Should have been Texas, and it goes to Michigan. Webster off the fingertips. Point Texas.
Texas is liking the change in matchups. So Webster hitting against different blockers. Ackerman also. And they are swinging far more freely early in the 4th set. Nice.
Oh, what a play defensively by Lurd. Allison. Webster had to float in, didn't get good wood on it, but the block is there. Allison and McCage point Texas.
What reactions by Lurd from about 8 feet away. And then Texas closing the block. They've rarely done that against Lexi Irwin is closing the hole and having 2 people shoulder to shoulder. That leads to the stuff on Irwin.
Net violation on Dana Miller, 8-4 Texas. No, the Longhorns, actually, they were here playing against Louisville early in the season. Actually fell down 2-1 to the Cardinals and came back to win the 4th and the 5th in this building
One of the reasons they scheduled this is knowing the Final Four was here. Coach Elliott was saying we're not necessarily the greatest big arena team, and his administration was nice enough to open up the big facility in Texas for Monday and Tuesday's practice.
They practiced in the Irwin Center where the basketball team plays, because talk a little bit, Coach, about depth perception in a wider open space like this.
Especially for setters, it's kind of hard to tell where the sideline is when the stands are so much farther away from them and from the court. So it's better to get more time. He felt like he noticed in practice yesterday they were much better on a Wednesday than they normally are in semifinal week.
Michigan, by the way, also played here earlier in the NCAA tournament. They came in here and beat Louisville. Toon tried to roll it over. Point Texas. Morales tried to slide underneath. You can go underneath the net and keep it in play. Just got to bring it back up on your own side. Texas now scoring 5 of the last 6. Nice block by McCage and McNeil.
Good read by Eckerman to be ready.
Webster's attack slowed by the block. Dan Miller couldn't put it away. Back out to Webster. Blocked by Cross.
Cross has been the leading blocker for Michigan, and she gets her hands almost across the net there. She does a better job than most of them at leading with her hands, getting them to go across the net, even as she's still going up in the air.
Well played by McCage. The freshman getting the kill for Texas.
Yeah, if you look at this 4th set, I think Hannah Allison has been much more solid so far than Dana Miller. Allison, that was a question in years past, is could she handle the pressure? She's doing a nice job for Texas.
Michigan gets it down. Point Toon.
Both the Michigan left sides are just getting used to the new blockers in front of them as Texas changed the matchup. They're seeing different middles in front of them, different end blockers. Oh, that's not a very good set.
Back row, Irwin.
Both setters in that rally having trouble touching the ball cleanly, coming out with a lot of spin, not going to a great location, but Irwin making up for it in a kill.
Lexi with her 23rd kill of the match. The pass to Allison. McNeil sliding behind. Well played by Morales. And then pushed across by Toon. Point Michigan.
What a dig. A cannon shot down the line. Morales comes up with it, and I like the little touch play by Toon. What finesse, and she gets a kill out of nothing. All she was trying to do was put it in play and give a little trouble for Texas, and gets the point.
Well, Michigan has scored 4 of the last 5 points, and they're within 2, trying to close out Texas.
The NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship is presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We'll pick you up.
Churchill Downs, a statue of Barbaro outside the racetrack. We're about 15 minutes away downtown at the KFC Yum Center here in Louisville. Texas needs to win this 4th to set up a 5th and deciding game for this match. Oregon and Penn State, our 2nd national semifinal. Oregon here for the first time. Penn State winning 4 straight national championships before the streak was broken last year by UCLA. And a service error from Michigan. The Wolverines playing in the biggest match of their lives, in the biggest match of program history, in Karch, with an opportunity to win it here in the fourth. How hard is it for them to push away those thoughts of, oh my God, we're going to win this thing before the job is done?
It is hard, and they talked about it last Saturday, how hard the last 5 points against Stanford were just to get here. It seemed like it was agony just getting through, but they have to control the serves of Texas. Michigan is not physical enough to beat Texas on the outside. They have to control that. Lexi Irwin notching another kill out of the back row. We call this a pipe set because it's right down the pipe like a fastball in baseball over home plate.
Irwin now with 69 attempts tonight. McNeil sliding behind. Texas is hitting it better here in the fourth. They are up 4.
And McNeil hitting almost 500. Texas would be wise to get her the ball a lot. She does so much for them. Stuff blocks on the outside. Set the off play. Tough serve. And spreading out the opposing blockers with her swing offense, slide offense.
Trout-Ayers got a double-double today. Bell almost ran into her teammate, gets the kill. Maria.
Yeah, guys, Jared Elliott was telling his setter, Allison, that he does want to get the ball to McNeil more, but not only that, he wants to speed the ball up to her. She's hitting that slide. They call it a wave, but they want it in a faster tempo to McNeil.